Hey everybody, and welcome back for another exciting episode of the VOD Squad, the show where we talk about streaming technology. This is episode 198, September 2nd, 2020. I am Clyde. Today I am joined by Michael Aston.
Hello, everybody.
Jimmy Trammell.
Hey guys, how's it going?
And Matthew Ross.
Well, hello everyone.
So guys, it's September. Summer is officially over. I'm angry. I got absolutely nothing accomplished. And for people to say, no, summer is technically not over. My kids went back to school today. Summer is over.
School starts tomorrow.
Congratulations.
I think we're gonna make it.
Matt's been counting down to school restarting so that he can take a break.
Sort of. Let me just put one word into what I've been doing for the past while. Hotspots.
Oh.
That's enough of that, though.
That sounds terrible.
Well,
But are students coming to school actually?
our school district has decided that for the first month, no, and they're going to reevaluate every month. Part of me thinks that that's a really good idea because then we could see 1 month in how bad or good it is, and then they're going to start bringing the kids back, I think.
See, my kids, they start high school today, but their school has options. So they've got the hybrid where the students come in for some things and do some things at home, or the student could opt out and just do home, which works out good because my one daughter, she's taking like AP classes and stuff. Mm-hmm. She's fine on her own. She opted out of going in. The other one, she needs to go to school. And it's in that I think is the right way to do it. You know, give people the option. But
I think it's fair.
Yeah, absolutely. But
we didn't start the show to talk about school, did we?
No, we didn't. What did we start to talk about?
I don't know. I mean, what are we here for? We're talking about, I guess, technology news with streaming stuff. That's what we're generally here for. Why don't we talk about Google Fiber?
But Google Fiber's dead.
No, Google Fiber. Well, no, Google Fiber kind of said we're done expanding.
Oh, sorry. They're like that zombie thing. They're still there.
Well, so Google Fiber is not dead. It's just not expanding. If you have Google Fiber, lucky you. Rest of us get to be all jealous of you. But they've always had television options for people. For the longest time, I think they had their own television service. But they've moved over to providing television options now since they don't provide their own service. They have decided to opt into giving you the option of getting Philo streaming as one of your options on the service. So you can get that instead of the existing options, which were YouTube TV and Fubo. So it's $20 a month and gets you that awesome Philo service that is basically all the Viacom channels. So that's a good option for people who want an inexpensive TV option.
Philo, we've talked about several times. This is, if I needed live TV, this is the one that I would probably go with. I think it's also the last one that we actually did a deep dive, tried for 30 days. For those of you that don't remember, Philo is the service that if you don't care about sports, all you wanted was TV, and you don't want to pay an arm and a leg, Philo.
It was It was you don't care about sports, you don't care about Disney, you want your Nickelodeon, and
Yep.
you want your Comedy Central.
For the longest time, Philo
Good
was
choice.
the only place that had the Viacom channels too.
Yep.
So, yeah, I think it's cool that Google is including them in the options.
Absolutely.
So,
I like my Philo right now, so it's all good.
or you still subscribe to Philo?
We do because
That's right.
actually it's a very fun and easy to use interface. A couple of channels that are on it still aren't on other systems, so they've got a couple of them that aren't elsewhere. And it's easy to watch and easy to pick up new shows. We felt it's really easy to use and it's nice and it's cheap. So we just kept on. We did our 30-day challenge like a year and a half ago.
Okay.
But you still have it. They got me.
Cool.
All right. Next story here. We heard a little bit about Google's Sabrina. This is the supposed new Google Android TV dongle. And they've been rumoring about it coming out in the near future, but it looks like it has showed up on some store shelves and in some stocking websites at some major retailers, and it's suggesting that it's going to cost anywhere from $49 to $59. This is a pretty good price for an Android TV box, since they tend to, for the main brand ones, tend to be around $100. Do you guys are excited about a new Google branded Android device?
I'll let you guys go first because I've got a long-winded Clyde rant. Do you guys have any thoughts on this?
I want to know what kind of dark magic this witch gets into. That's all I'll ever think about with Sabrina.
Yep.
The witch.
Yep.
Yeah, they should have picked a better name. I agree.
See, and that was one of my main complaints early on is why? Why Sabrina? Okay, as a code name, I get it. But
is that going to be the full name? We don't know yet.
Yeah, I don't know. But I mean, it does, like, in the screenshots from one of the stores, it is labeled as Sabrina. So
yep.
So what I was gonna get at is my early anger about this product was the fact that the reports that they were making a Chromecast and adding Android TV to it, and my answer was why. Just make an Android TV. But then as I've read more about it, I've realized that, people just are forgetting that, no, this is just an Android TV. Because,
right.
And it's the thing that's special about it is this is the first Google-made Android TV since the Nexus that they made like 4 years ago. So it's, once again, because the way Google has operated in the Android TV space is they have made a device and said, this is the touchstone, this is the standard, go forth and make your products.
Yeah,
right?
They let everybody else do their thing.
And so now that I've kind of thought about it and I've realized that, no, this is just Google saying, okay, we see the direction everything's been going. We're making a new standard for you guys to do going forward. Essentially, this is just a round TiVo stream 4K. That's all it is. Or more oblong, I guess. And I had misgivings about, this TiVo 4K stream thing because it was directly attached to the TV it was a dongle, not a set top or, a standalone device. And I didn't know if you could pack the needed horsepower and memory and whatnot into that small device, and whether or not there was going to be heat issues. And after a couple months of using that, it's been fine. So this is essentially the same thing. It just doesn't have the TiVo software.
Right.
So the price is right. Between 40 and $60. Sure. I'm interested to see what the remote looks like. But if you wanted, this is essentially the start of the new generation of Android TVs. Because everything that's come out up to this point has been based off of the Nexus that they had Asus make. I'm curious who made this one. I think we speculated before, it's probably the same exact company that made the TiVo Stream 4K.
Maybe.
So now you'll have a choice. Do you want the TiVo integration with Sling TV, or do you just want plain Android TV? And they're basically the same price. So, yeah.
Sounds good.
Oh, and I think this is slated to be
Rumored
released
September 30th.
September 30th. Yeah, because they're going to be making a bunch of announcements about the pixels and the nests and everything. So we should know then.
Makes sense.
So
when are we going to hear about all the new stuff? I don't know. Well, the one thing we will know about is Google Stadia. If you guys are using Google Stadia on an Android TV, you may have noticed a little glitch with using the app. It's kind of comical because the Android, of course, TV is based off Android, and when the first time you would launch a Stadia game on the Android TV using the built-in app, it would launch the game temporarily for just a second in portrait mode, which means your entire game for just a moment while you're selecting your game was sideways. And so and then it would kind of figure itself out and reorient correctly. That little bug's been fixed. Other than that, they've added a couple of the features that they've been adding to Android TV as a whole, like some the sign-in, making the sign-in a little bit more smooth. It's getting support for more additional controllers. It's getting some features for the performance. There's been some performance fixes on it. But the big notable thing here is that, Go 90 is still a thing, right?
yeah. These are the kind of bugs that I like, that make me giggle.
Yeah. This is the kind of stuff that makes you go, yeah.
But yeah, good to see that they're fairly quick to fix it. Or has it been doing that for months?
I don't know how long it's been doing it. I have been using Stadia off and on for myself, and I have been pretty happy with the performance of the actual.
But have you noticed the portrait thing at all?
I have never played on my Android TV. I've only played on my desktop.
Although you do have the one Android TV that is like
well supported
suited
for
playing it.
I need to get a good controller for that. That's what I need.
I have the controller that came with my ADT, the original Android TV developer edition. So it was the pre-Nexus version. That controller is still good. So I need to install this on my TiVo Stream 4K and see how it works, because then that'll give me an idea of whether or not the Sabrina is suitable for Stadia, because that's where I have my misgivings.
That controller that you have, it has the analog sticks at the same level, and they're not nice. I'm not a fan of having them just the toes.
I'm okay with the off because I have my Xbox controller.
Right.
This is my PC controller.
Right.
So I'm used to it, but
right. Actually, that's a good controller, and I'm used to it too. But my favorite controller is actually the Wii U's Pro controller, which actually puts the analog sticks on the edges. I actually like that the best. But it's so rare; you don't find that anywhere anymore.
See, That's a system where what's the name for the word for a word that sounds like what it means? Like woof.
You mean it sounds? Yeah. That is a not a diphthong. It's a
Yeah, I think it is a diphthong. No,
diphthong.
diphthong is the
Yeah.
inflection. But
Onomatopoeia.
yes, onomatopoeia. So because the Wii U,
Wee you.
it's yeah, exactly. It that pretty much describes the like reaction that people had to the platform as a whole. But back onto Stadia. I need to try Stadia. I keep meaning to. Now that it's on Android TV, I have no excuse. But
Third time's a charm.
I also, yeah. So
Yeah, well, what you should do is you should buy a game. No, don't get into Stadia. Don't subscribe. Go in there, wait for a sale for a game that you kind of might be interested in. Buy the game, and never pay for it again, and try the game out.
okay.
I got they gave me a because I got in early. They gave me a $10 certificate for to off any game, and then the original, not the original, the most recent reboot of Lara Croft was $10 on sale, and I said, "Give that to me for free." I said, "Here you go, yours forever." It's like, great.
Okay. Good. So what else can I do on Android TV?
On Android TV, you can use Google Duo. Do you remember what Google Duo is?
Yeah, well, we talked about this a couple weeks ago, but it was on the Nest devices.
That's correct.
I had said, why? Why do you want a video conference from this little thing that like you're in the kitchen or sitting on the toilet? You know, that's where those things usually are, right?
My question is, if you're going to do a Google Duo on your giant TV with your Android TV, where's your camera?
Well, you can plug USB devices into your Android TV.
That's their answer, is that you can go ahead and plug your USA camera into it.
Now, the question I have is, in this picture, where is the camera?
No idea.
It is so staged because there is no camera.
There's also no Android TV. Maybe it's built into the TV.
They could be casting to the TV.
That's not a good answer.
Which would be completely defeating the purpose of having Duo on the TV. But that's probably what they're doing.
Yeah.
You know what's also really sad is that they also announced that they're going to probably replace Duo with Meet eventually. So, yay for products to
double the Meet,
something like that. Duo the Meet, yes.
It's a Meat Duo.
No, it's a no.
Oh, sorry. The Meat Duo is pepperoni and sausage.
Oh, is that?
Yeah.
I love that. I love that pizza.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what they call it?
I think so. It's kind of like the dynamic duo, but
no,
with
nothing
meat.
Like.
Well, I mean, the dynamic duo was Batman and Robin.
Let's see
but
what
if they
Google
were in
says
pizza
when I
form,
Google
it would
Meat
be
Duo.
pepperoni and sausage.
Let's look it up on the Urban Dictionary.
No. I stay far away from that.
I'm gonna look it up.
And next.
Oh, okay. I suppose I should read the next story. Plex, our lovely channel Plex. Plex has been offering up a bunch of different services to supplement their original plan of being the world's greatest. You burn it, you buy it, you put it on your own hardware, and you watch your own movie service. They are also introducing a bunch of other features, including a bunch of different television and movie channels for you to watch. And they have just announced 42 new channels that you can watch. There are things like the Bob Ross channel, the Game Show Central, Wipeout Extra, Pet Collective, People Are Awesome. It's a lot of those other channels. I think we've seen a lot of these on things like Pluto.
Basically, they're adopting a lot of stuff that you would see on Pluto.
Right.
So it's their Pluto without having to support Pluto.
Nice. Yeah, but this is the kind of thing that you can now get to every time you open up your Plex. It's interesting for me because I use Plex to watch my movies that I have stored on my Plex server, and they've buried that now. It's like harder to get to my movies now.
I think they do that intentionally. I think they're trying to pivot away from
Plex passes being their only
well,
source of
the
income.
Plex Pass, and also people support are having large libraries locally stored of questionable material, meaning that did they just go to Redbox and rip it? Because I'd say at least 75% of the Plex users out there would probably say yes, they did. But
Or didn't even bother to rip it and just torrented it, right?
exactly. Which that's been a stigma that has kind of haunted Plex all these years, and they've been kind of distancing themselves from that. So I'm not surprised if they're kind of making it less of a priority on the platform. But
Hey, Matt, let me ask you, using Plex, when you put your own movie in there, how do you get the metadata to that movie in there? Does Plex have built-in tools for that?
So Plex will automatically detect the name of the movie and also look at some other things like the length of the movie and things like that. And then it will search its own database and a couple other databases available to it and try to match. And it gives you a list of matches that are possible and percentages of which it thinks it is. And then you just choose, oh, yes, you got it right. Or actually, that you got the wrong one. Use this one here. At which point, then pulls all the metadata down and gives you exactly what you wanted on that. But if it doesn't know what it is, it just keeps the name of the file as the name of the movie and picks a frame somewhere in it to be the poster of it. So
which in itself
sometimes it's hilarious.
Can be hilarious. But yeah, also if you're ripping it from physical media, if you're backing up your library, tools like Handbrake will a lot of times write that, will handle the metadata, write it to the file. So Plex doesn't even have to do the heavy lifting, but it really depends. Depends on your options. If you're worried about size and you're making the most stripped down file possible, then there's a good chance it wouldn't already be there. But especially if you're going to be, if for someone that's going to be posting it someplace that they don't want it to be detected, that may be obfuscated on purpose. But yeah. What else?
Oh my goodness. Well, what else is going on in the world today? Hey, Locast. We keep talking about Locast. Locast is that service that gives you access to your local channels that would normally be available to you over the air, but you don't have access to whatever reason. Maybe you don't have an antenna. Maybe you happen to be on the wrong side of a hill. Maybe you just are bored, are really lazy, and you decided not to go to the store and buy an antenna, and you want access to these local channels. Locast gives you an option to either get for free with an annoying little thing going, a little annoyance where involved, or pay as little as $5 a month to give access to your over-the-air services over the internet. They have just announced that they are now available in the Detroit area, which means that they'll be anywhere in from the Detroit and Ann Arbor markets. And they've got a large number of channels from the area. It looks like 66 local channels are going to be available to those markets through this service. I think it's a really cool service. If you are in that area, at least try them out and say, yep, that's cool. It's worth $5 a month. And speaking of Plex, I know there is an add-on for Plex you can get, so you can DVR stuff off of Locast onto your Plex server.
This is another reminder. It's another thing that I'm supposed to install on Android TV and try. Because, as we talked about a couple weeks ago, it was...
in your area.
It's in my area now. And also, last week, I was given a task by the TiVo Beta to try out Locast.
And you didn't do it, did you?
And I keep forgetting. I haven't been watching TV, so I was gone all weekend, and but yeah, it's on my list. Things I need to do. Try Locast, and just a reminder: it's been like 2 years since it was announced that they were being sued by the big angry channels. They're still here, so, and we really haven't heard anything about that. So,
I just checked out my Lowcast local TV, and it looks like Quantum Leap is on. So as soon as we're done here, I'm going to watch that, guys. Battlestar Galactica right after it.
I would say Quantum Leap will be over by the time we're done.
Or will it?
Or will it?
Maybe Sam has jumped into one of our bodies. Maybe I'm Sam. I don't know. What am I supposed to say?
Is that why Mike's so quiet this week?
Maybe, and he's trying to figure out.
Don't have anything he wants to talk about.
What are all of these people talking about?
Nobody said anything about Ziggy yet, right?
I'm surprised that it's actually available in my area now.
It is. I do remember. I think we tried.
I was going to say, wasn't Florida one of the first markets?
Yeah, it was an early one.
It was an early one, but
it seems to be almost everywhere now, which is pretty cool. Yeah, I've got to say.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, it's right here in West Palm Beach now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's it's
free to go try it, check it out. Just go to the website.
It's a good option for people that want live TV. They want the local channels, and they don't want to pay $60 for YouTube or YouTube TV or the equivalent. So yeah, get your Hulu, your Netflix, and the cheaper stuff you want, and then just use Locast for the local stuff. I mean, yeah, it's probably not the answer for sports, but
you might be surprised if all you watch is local sports.
Well, most of the time the local sports are blacked out.
How
is that
smash
working?
Chair.
They won't let you buy they black out the games when the stadium isn't full enough. And right now they won't let anybody. So that means every game is going to be blacked out.
I want somebody somewhere to wake up from this nightmare and go, maybe we should let people watch the games. Maybe people would like it more if they could see it.
No, I tried watching a baseball game, and then I saw all the fake people in the stands, which made me groan. And then I saw their political statement that MLB was making, and I said, nope, I'm done with baseball forever, because baseball is supposed to be agnostic. You know, you don't take sides politically. And
after the show, you're going to have to tell me about that, because I have no idea what you're talking about.
Sure.
So. Cool. Let's see. We have one more story. Hey, if you guys have yet to try Netflix, okay, I commend you. I think it's amazing that you have yet to try Netflix. I think that's an amazing feat. And in fact, that is a thing that I think you should celebrate and try some free Netflix. Netflix is offering a website that lets you try out some of their more popular shows for free right on the web, no login required. The website is called netflix.com/watchfree, and it's still got a lot of different shows that are available for you to check out, from Bird Box to Stranger Things. I think they're giving the whole first season of Stranger Things on there. A bunch of documentaries that are available on there. So if you have been one of those people who are like, nah, I don't know about this, I don't know if I'm interested, go, this is like there's a lot of good stuff to try this week, I have to say. Anything from Plex servers and Plex channels to Lowcast to this. There's a lot of good things for people to try out there. Go ahead and give it a shot.
It's a good move. If I were not already subscribed and committed to Netflix, and I went and watched Stranger Things for free, I would definitely sign up.
Watch the other 2 seasons.
just to get the other 2 seasons. I loved Stranger Things. I think it's great. So for sure,
Yeah.
it's a good move.
Apple TV
Also-
needs to do this with that new show about the football guy.
Huh?
So that I can watch it and decide if I want to sign up for Apple TV Plus, which I can tell you is probably a no. But
But still, then you could
they
find out.
finally have something I'm actually interested in watching.
Mhm.
But we'll see.
I love this. It's kind of like I used to love whenever HBO would do like the free
Free
weekend.
Yeah,
weekend.
preview weekend, yeah.
And I see this Lovecraft Country coming on HBO,
Oh,
and I'm
sorry.
like,
Yeah, they're
I'd
like
love
3
to-
weeks in.
yeah. I mean, I guess I don't even know because
Well,
I'm not.
I mean,
I'm
what's
not going to
coming-
get HBO for it, right? It's just not worth that to me.
What is worth it to you? HBO Max. So it's like half the price, right? Oh no, it's the same price, but you get everything else.
I mean, I will likely, if I hear good things, I haven't even really looked into it, but after maybe the season's over, if I hear good things, I'll subscribe for a month, binge the season, and watch it.
They've got a show coming. They've got Ridley Scott's new TV show coming tomorrow.
What's that?
Raised by Wolves.
Okay.
Um,
Maybe it's worth giving them a shot. I mean, I enjoyed Game of Thrones enough. I watched until it was over and I desubscribed. Lovecraft Country looks like it's up my alley. I like the supernatural things. I am a fan of.
we'll talk about
writing,
Raised by
so-
Wolves later, but I mean, it's also got all the DCU stuff on HBO Max, so you can get the Harley Quinn season 2 and
Oh,
Doom Patrol season 2, and
okay, that could be worth
yeah,
it.
like I said, HBO Max has turned out to be to the chagrin of everybody, that all the naysayers, HBO
Mhm.
Max is actually pretty good. But that's a topic for another time. Anything else to say about this free Netflix collection? Netflix sampler platter.
I am currently in another screen watching the 2 popes just for fun.
All right. Well, you know what you should be doing?
What?
You should be thanking the patrons
Ah!
for sticking with us for 98 episodes.
What's wrong with these people?
I don't know. Well,
Yeah.
I think it's easy because, we forget to like charge them and stuff. So it's,
Yeah.
there's really no downside to being a
That's true.
patron. So yes, there is no downside to being a patron. So you should get it now while you still can. Yeah, we launched the Patreon on episode 100. That was 98 episodes ago.
Wow.
Well, plus a couple that aren't out there. Well, no, we even counted the ones that got lost, or didn't work. So, yeah, 98. But thank you to all those supporters, those of you that see something of value in what we do. We appreciate it. And if you would like to join the ranks of the squad, I don't remember what we called different tiers, but
Well, squad mates.
there was squad leaders and
Oh yeah.
yeah, I don't remember.
Reconnaissance.
Yeah, but yeah, if you would like to be part of that, you would like to participate, that is patreon.com/the VOD Squad. We reiterate, we are not a good investment, but we are better than a bad one.
Yes, we are.
And with that, why don't we get on to some rants and some raves? Alrighty. Rants, raves, something in between. What do you guys got?
I only have one thing this week,
Okay.
which is if you are And in any way, enjoying, you are a gamer who's played Warcraft over the years, the various Warcraft games. They are announcing so the cinematics that they've been doing recently for Warcraft have been so good at telling a cohesive story that is interesting with characters and interesting with afterlife, because that's what the next expansion is about. They just announced a new animated kind of a trailer thing for one of four. There's going to be four of these describing of some four different afterlives as part of the Warcraft lore, and the first one was excellent. And so I'm recommending, if you have any kind of love of those, go and watch the first one. It's available now. It's the Bastion Afterlife one so it's called Warcraft Afterlife. So I can go ahead and share that link if you guys want to see that. And,
Yeah, throw that in the chat.
Yeah, why not? That has been very good. Lots of fun. If you're into it, there's a lot of interesting things going on in just that one alone, and there's going to be 3 more leading up to the release of the next expansion, which should be a lot of fun. So definitely check it out if you're into Warcraft.
All right. Word. Who's next? Don't all speak at once.
I'll go ahead
Next.
and go.
It's like,
Mike, you
So-
go.
Yeah. So I have had a pretty great week up until Tuesday evening, because I got the last couple of computer parts I needed to put my computer together. I have built my computer. It is beautiful. I love everything about it, except that now I'm getting fan errors. So I'm going to have to go through and unplug all the cords that I have perfectly cable managed and everything, and all beautiful, and check them all, because one of them must be loose or chained in the wrong way. Probably loose, because it worked enough to get the Windows install started before it did a reboot during the Windows install and won't boot anymore. So
so
very
that sounds
frustrating.
like CPU fan, not
CPU
case
fan,
fans.
yes.
Oh, okay.
Yep, CPU fan error. But I have an all-in-one. So my CPU fan is actually 3 fans plus the pump controller. So it's like I have 4 things chained together. So it's one of those connections.
Oh, you did go with the AIO. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I have a
was
360 millimeter AIO.
Cool.
So it's pretty awesome. I like the way that it looks and everything. My real gripe, though, is actually a rant about NVIDIA.
Did you bought your card and then they made the announcement on Tuesday?
For the last 15 years, the new graphics card by NVIDIA, the flagship was more powerful than the previous generation flagship and cost about half again as much. So right now, the expectation was new flagship is about, minus the Titan, about $900 to $1,200. So I figure the new graphics card is going to be faster and it's going to cost about $1,500 to $2,000. Way out of my budget. Not going to get it. Don't even need to worry about waiting. I'll just buy what I want now and get going. About the same time I finished building my stinking computer, they announced the prices, and the new graphics card that is less expensive than I paid is going to be significantly faster than the current flagship, which I didn't get because I couldn't afford it.
So yeah, for those of you that didn't follow the announcement, essentially the 3070 will be more powerful than the current 2080 and cost less than the 2070. So I think the 3080 is going to be around $500.
500.
But
500 for the 3070, and I paid $575 for my 2070 Super.
See, and that's where you made the mistake because you were going off the first generation or the first generation of the new platform of the RTX, where everything in history shows that generation 2 is where you get the real increases and the price fluctuations, because the first one
Well,
is
the
yeah.
literally the last time they had a price structure that came out like this was 2004.
Yeah.
So it's literally been 16 years since they've done something like this. I just, like I said, I've been doing graphics and stuff for a long time, and I just knew, based on their history, I'm not going to be able to afford the new one. Don't bother. Don't worry about it.
They're definitely feeling the heat from AMD, especially
Yeah.
since both of the new consoles are going to be using AMD's brand new architecture that was ahead of what
Yeah.
NVIDIA was doing. I can't remember what they call it, but Adreno or something like that.
Yeah, and both new consoles come out this year, so they are trying to compete with people that have the option of spending $600 or $700 probably
Yeah.
for a new console versus 500 or $1,000 for just the graphics card for a computer, right?
Yeah.
So
So in a month or two, when those cards start coming out is when I will start looking. I've been using this 1050 forever, and it's doing fine, but there's going to be a whole bunch of 2070 and 2080 lightly used going out the window.
yeah, maybe mine.
Yeah, I'll give you $100 for it.
Oh, yeah. I was talking to my wife about it today, and she's like, "Yep, that's too bad."
Well,
I was like, "No, I'm gonna have to
well,
sell
how
it."
long ago did you buy it?
I bought it. I opened it on Tuesday.
Put it back in the package and return it.
I don't know. Will Newegg take back an open graphics card?
That's why you be very careful when you open it, and then you pack it back up. It doesn't look like it was ever opened.
Sometimes they do with the restocking fees, and also they usually have a certain number of days where they'll take it.
I may or may not have done that with a card at Micro Center because I got home and I realized, wait, this isn't going to do what I wanted, and put it back in the box, sealed it back up.
Well, if I got it at Fry's, I would be confident that I could return
Yeah.
it because everybody returns everything to Fry's after 2 days. I swear, every time I've gone to Fry's, I'm like looking for a new unopened box. I'm like, no, they've all been returned, every single item.
That tripod we used like 2 years ago,
Yeah.
may or may not have been returned to Fry's after CES.
Well, it was probably an open box when you bought it anyway.
I think it probably was.
Everything they have is.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. So I'm annoyed at NVIDIA and myself because I was impatient and didn't wait. What I didn't know that it was literally going to be 2 days after I received them, but I knew that I didn't want to wait a month when they're supposed to come out. So should have been more patient. Oh well.
Yeah. Jimmy, what you got?
Yeah, so I was scanning around on Netflix this past week, and to my surprise, I found the YouTube show Cobra Kai
Oh yeah,
out on Netflix.
they picked it up.
Yeah, I didn't realize that. So I was like, okay, well, I never did subscribe to YouTube TV, and so let me try this out. And this was like probably the main reason why I was even considering it. So anyway, I started watching it, enjoying the series. I'm about 6 episodes into it, and yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah. So if you're like me and didn't subscribe to YouTube TV and always wanted to see what Cobra Kai was like, yeah, it's on Netflix now, so you can go out there and watch it.
Yeah, I was a little bit disappointed when I saw it because I knew Netflix picked up Cobra Kai to produce the third season. And when they announced Cobra Kai is on Netflix, I said, yes, season 3 is out. And then I went, oh no, it's just season 1 and 2. So I got sad.
Sorry.
But as I mentioned when I watched the first season, it's nice. I like it because the writers clearly understood that Daniel was always the villain.
Mhm.
Daniel was not the hero in that story. He was the villain. As many people have pointed out through the years. But
Okay, Barney.
no, he was.
That's what Barney on How I Met Your Mother always
He
contested.
was
Yeah.
right.
Mhm.
He was right. But
well,
not saying anybody else was a good guy, but Daniel was literally the villain that spurred that whole story forward. But we can talk. That's another thing we can talk about again later. But I've got breaking news. Satellite TV is still terrible.
Which satellite TV service?
I think it's somehow worse than it was 20 years ago. This is Dish. Over the weekend, I went. My buddy has property at like one of the, or up by one of the big lakes here. So we went up to go do some boating for the weekend, and so I stayed at his camper at the campground. So they've got one of those mobile satellite dishes that you can use with your camper. And that first night when we got there, we spent hours. And the thing was like, no, I can't find the satellite. I can't find the satellite. Made sure it's pointed exactly where it was. He had his fancy app that says, yeah, satellite's right there. Yes, it's pointed. It's correct. Checked all the wiring, did everything. Nothing. So I said, screw it. Went and sat by the fire, went to bed. Next morning when there was daylight, it's like, okay, well, we couldn't see. So let's try it now. And we spent about an hour trying to, position, and it's just not doing anything. It's like, all right, whatever. Later that day, it just magically starts working. Didn't touch it. But my daughter was watching a Harry Potter movie because she doesn't understand how traditional TV works. So she just left it on whatever channel it was on when the TV turned on. She was watching one of the Harry Potter movies, and I noticed it looked like a bad language dub. The dialogue was so far behind, I kept waiting for Bruce Lee to jump out of the shadows. I kid you not, some of the audio was like almost a scene behind. And I thought, oh, this is bad on this channel. They said, oh, no, that's just the way it always is.
No, it's not supposed to be like that.
I know, but and that explains the last time I was at their house, there was an audio issue, desync, and I thought it was because of their sound bar, because sound bars can add latency. And then I found out, that's when I realized, oh, because they said, yeah, we have the problem with satellite at home. It's Dish. It's a Dish thing that they're having that, but they just accept it as that's just the way it is. And I'm like, oh, this is terrible. Not only did the thing not work when it was clearly set up correct, because it just magically started working 12 hours later, but that they're living with this audio issue. The only reason they set it up was because at the time, at their previous campground, they didn't have access to internet. So they signed that stupid contract for the mobile dish.
Mobile one, oh.
Well, that's why I was saying it's the Dish mobile unit that you set on a tripod. So
Right.
it's supposed to be easy to set up. You just point it south. I'm sitting there with my compass, and you position the coax comes out of the back, and you position the tripod so that the coax is pointing north, and then the gyros and stuff inside the dome will search and then find it. Yeah, it doesn't work. Or apparently it does work. It just claims it doesn't work until you're not paying attention. So I'm thinking that Dish is run by cats.
Okay, I've had several dish systems in my lifetime, and I've had the dish guy come out and point it, and I've done it myself several times because I've moved and I was like, I'm just gonna move my own dish, and like, actually, usually what they say is, leave the dish there.
Well, in the
So,
in a campground, you can't
Right.
because you're only there so many days a week.
Right. But so it sounds like your family has some busted material, some busted stuff. Because audio, I've never had audio desync like a half a minute, like you're talking. That sounds insane.
Well, and I mean,
Maybe-
it could be a lot of things. It could be the hardware, but the fact that they see it both at the campground and both at home, they have Dish in both places.
Mm-hmm.
They're pointing at the same satellite, so I think it has to
Could be
do
the
with
satellite.
it's a geolocation thing, just because we're where they are. You know,
I think it's the Chinese spy satellite.
it might be. It might be. They might be actually pointing at China's Wi-Fi pineapple satellite that's taking your, doing like a Wi-Fi pineapple would with your Wi-Fi and relaying it from the actual Dish satellite so that it can get your watch info. But I don't know. All I know is satellite is still terrible. I have been anti-satellite for a good part of my life, especially after spending a summer installing them.
Do they still make you sign contracts?
Usually 2 years now, which is
yeah.
insane. I mean, a 1-year contract seems maybe okay because you're getting set. They need to earn enough money to pay off for the guys that put all that on there, and they don't really make a lot of money off of the actual service anymore because they're trying to keep the prices low, and channels are keep upping their prices, and they can't get any more bandwidth except for installing more satellites, and that's expensive. So
Yeah.
I get that.
Yeah.
I get that side of the business is tough. So they
and
want you to
also
have a
Dish's
contract.
satellites are falling out of the sky. Remember?
That's true.
Hey, maybe that's the problem. That satellite that fell was the one that they would have normally used, had the
Maybe.
optimized signal. So now they're using a less than
It's
for
possible.
this area is using a less than preferable.
Check this out. I
satellite.
just went to Dish's website and look what's on their website here. Dish has always been tuned to the needs of customers aged 55 and older. That's why that's why we created this exclusive offer just for you.
It knew who you are.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So
All right, what do I get?
Dish.com.
it's dish.com, right?
Yep.
Okay. I wanted to make sure I'm looking at the right page. I'm not on like one of those fake pages that steal your info, which this might still be one of those pages that steals your info, but yeah.
Yeah, their website needs a little updating as well.
It's all just patriotic for me.
Yeah. I don't know. But all I know is I felt bad, and I keep telling him, I'm like, dude, you do the same thing I do. Why are you even messing with TV? Just get a Roku. Why are you so resistant to streaming media? But
It takes up the bandwidths. And if
no,
you don't have
it's
much bandwidth,
that's not a concern. That's not
okay. Well, if it's not a concern, then yeah, you should totally be doing it.
That's my point.
Right.
But
because they start off it's like $70 a month. You can get a lot of good streaming
Yeah.
services for that much. I mean, geez. So I don't know.
But-
Makes sense to me.
all right. You know what else makes sense to me?
A
Shutting this down.
good idea.
Yeah. Thanks everybody for hanging out with us tonight. Reminder, we are going to be celebrating our 200th episode in 2 weeks. Join us live. We're going to do a call-in segment. So if you have any questions or thoughts or rants about streaming technology, get them ready, because we're going to open up the lines via Discord towards the latter part of the show, and we will make the show go as long as necessary to get to everybody. Hope to see everybody there. We got some other stuff planned as far as content discussions and whatnot. So don't think it's going to be our normal episode, but it's 200. We'll get back to normal with 201.
Sure.
If you're watching this after the fact, you should join us live. We do this live every Wednesday night here on Twitch, twitch.tv/The VOD Squad. If you're here live, you get to participate in the chat. You get to correct us when I'm wrong. You get to tell us when I'm doing something you don't like. You get to submit titles, which we will vote on here in the post show. And yes, there is a post show that you otherwise will not get to see. Whether or not it's good or something that you're even interested in, you'll never know unless you're here. So, guys, join me in the post show. Everybody else, see you later. We'll catch you next week.
Diamond Club hopes you have enjoyed this program.